Assalamu alaikum and good day. My name is Salman Ghaffar and I'm one of the directors and trainers at Hussain. Today I'm going to talk to you about the IBA personal statement. So what exactly is a personal statement? Imagine a personal statement like a short essay that you would write to a university introducing yourself, talking about your unique achievements, your goals, your plans, and what you plan to do in the future, and how the university is such a great fit for you, and how you're such a great fit for the university, about what motivates you, about what gets you to go and achieve your goals. It's a chance for the university to look into your personality before they call you in for an interview. So what is the advantage of writing a good personal statement? First of all, you can show the university that you possess good communication skills. Remember, a lot of work that you do at the undergraduate level involves a lot of writing. So the university can see from the very beginning what your writing skills are like and how organized your writing is. You can also talk about the highlights in your life, about the achievements, the main things that you've achieved so far. You also have the opportunity to showcase your individual qualities, how you're different from others, what makes you unique, what is it that shows the world what you're capable of. You can also connect at a personal level. You can show that you're a human being beyond simple grades and percentages. Remember, the application with only percentages and grades is just one side of the story. It doesn't show the university what your motivations are, how you are driven to achieve your goals. That is something that you can show in your personal statement. Now, before we talk further about the personal statement that you were going to write for IBA, these are the 6 programs that you are eligible to apply for. You're going to be applying for one of these 6 programs. So based on which program you're applying for, your personal statement needs to be geared in that particular fashion. How to write your personal statement? You need to start thinking about your personal statement. You could do a variety of things. For example, I would suggest you make a comprehensive list of things you want to talk about. Make sure that it's a complete list of everything that you want to talk about. Then you need to divide all those things into clearly demarcated sections so that each section then can be turned into a separate paragraph. And also be very clear from the very outset about the objective you want to achieve. For example, you may want to project a certain kind of personality. You may want to talk about certain things that you believe project your personality in a certain kind of a way. Make sure that you have your objective very, very clearly demarcated. I would suggest dividing your personal statement into 3 clear parts. The first part, in my opinion, should be your academic and career goals. Now, your academic and career goals can be further divided into the following sections. What is your motivation to join IBA? Why do you want to come here? Why not somewhere else? That's a question that you are asked regularly in IBA interviews, and this is something that you could address directly in the personal statement as well. Secondly, what is your motivation towards a career in business? Why do you want to become a business person? Or why do you want to go into accounting, for example, or social sciences or economics for that matter? And how does that tie in with your future career goals? Do you have a clear idea of where you want to see yourself 10 years from today, 15 years from today, 25 years from today? Furthermore, how does your academic background up till now relate to your career goals? For example, if you have a business background, you studied business and economics or accounting in your intermediate or your A levels, that ties in really easily with your future business education at IBA. But let's say you have an engineering background. Why are you making the switch towards business? If you had a medical background, why are you making that switch? You need to come up with a nice story that convinces the reader about how you always wanted to study business, or how it inspires you, or how it motivates you. You also want to talk about how you can add value to the society through your academic and career goals. What is it that you want to achieve that will benefit your society as a whole, your nation as a whole, and the world in large? And you could also talk about if you have any interesting business ideas or career goals that you want to talk about. For example, there was a student that I had last year who had an online business selling cosmetics. And she was able to translate that business idea into an excellent personal statement, talking about how that inspired her to become more self-sufficient and more self-reliant. That was excellent because that convinces the reader that this person is serious about business.
If you have something like that on your resume, talk about it. That is something that can really add value to your personal statement. The next thing that you need to talk about is what makes you different, what makes you special. Are there any accomplishments that you want to talk about? For example, perhaps you've represented your school or your college in debating or at the Model United Nations. That's something that will add value to your personal statement. Your extracurricular activities and your work with student societies. Have you been the president or the vice president or the secretary of a certain society? What were the objectives of that society? Did that add value to you? Did you learn something from it? Do you have any extraordinary skills? Perhaps you play the guitar really well. Perhaps you're an excellent actor or a great public speaker. And what makes you different and unique compared to others? It could be perhaps you have a skill that others don't have. And at the end, you could also talk about any kind of competitive sporting activities that you've been regularly a part of. Maybe you're a champion swimmer. Maybe you're great at gymnastics, or you're an excellent athlete. You run really fast. You play cricket really well. You love playing football. These are the things that can also add value to your personal statement. Also, always tie that in terms of how that has made you more competitive, more focused, more driven. Always explain how your achievements have made you a better, stronger, more dynamic person. That is something that you must tie in. The third part of your personal statement would be, do you have anything else to add? For example, have you been involved in any kind of community service? This is something that universities look very positively at. You could also talk about if you've participated in any national or international forums representing your school or your college. Could be in any kinds of activities. If you've also been involved in internships, you've worked for 2 weeks or 2 months at a company or at an NGO, mention that. Also talk about how that has taught you certain values, and also add anything else that shows you in a positive light. Remember that the values that you need to focus and that you need to present to IBA include leadership, self-motivation, focus, diligence, persistence, and honesty. These are the basic values that you must show for IBA to be convinced that you will be a positive addition to its student body. Now, how do you write your personal essay? First of all, you make sure that you have all your sections put together nicely to project exactly the kind of personality that you want to show. Make sure that your small stories add up to form a nice big picture. Make sure that you use good paragraphing techniques. Each paragraph should talk about a certain section of your entire story. Also, try to use a competent level of vocabulary and good grammar, because if you have a lot of mistakes in grammar or you use the wrong words, you'll end up distracting the reader and you'll lose the entire focus. Also, make sure that you get somebody to proofread your essay. Perhaps a teacher or a counselor can help you fix the language. Please make sure that you get somebody competent to read through it. Don't worry if you don't have a lot of achievements. At this age, it's not possible for everybody to have a lot of achievements. Just make sure that you shine a positive light on whatever you've done. You still have time to overcome that. And you need to make sure that you write nicely to overcome any weaknesses in your content. So if you can write well, if you have a skill that shows that you can write well, that can itself add a lot of value to your personal statement. There are certain terminologies that you must know and you can use in your essay so that you can show the reader that you know what IB is all about. I'm going to give you those terms and definitions so that you can remember them and use them in your essay. Let's start with business. Simply, business is the process of buying and selling of goods and services. So any firm or any single person involved in the buying and selling or manufacturing and selling of goods and services would be involved in business. Second term that you need to know is accounting. If you have studied accounting, you know exactly what it means, but even if you haven't studied it, just understand it is the process of identifying and classifying and then recording and reporting of financial information. All kinds of organizations need people with accounting skills to help them with their financial statements. What is finance? Now, finance is the process of management of capital and assets and money and investments for a firm or a government. This is the department that looks after the financial resources of the firm. Now, people with a background in finance can work for all kinds of organizations, banks, non-banking financial institutions, investment firms, governments, and other businesses who need to manage large sums of money. Economics is the study of how society uses its limited resources. Generally, economics is divided into smaller sections such as microeconomics, macroeconomics, developmental economics. But eventually, overall, it is a study of how a society uses the limited resources and produce output. Marketing. Marketing is involved with the process of identifying and acquiring potential customers and clients for your products and services. It also includes the branches of advertising and sales. And it's very important for any firm because firms need to be able to generate revenues, and marketing is the department that is responsible for that. And finally, social science. Now, social science is a very broad term. Generally, you can imagine this as the study of human beings and human society. Social science is generally concerned with the relationships that people have with their society, and it includes the subsections of anthropology, economics, political science, psychology, and sociology. In a wide sense, it also includes things like archaeology, history, law, and linguistics. At IBA, the BS in Social Science and Liberal Arts is actually a 4-year undergraduate program, and you can choose to major in psychology, political science, media, and communication studies, or even in history. Finally, what makes a great personal statement? A great personal statement would do the following things in my opinion. Number 1, it provides valuable insight into the applicant's personality. Number 2, it clearly shows the positive traits that the applicant possesses. Number 3, it presents the applicant's goals and objectives very clearly. Number 4, it is written in a very clear and coherent manner. And number 5, it reflects a good understanding of language and writing ability. If you can achieve all of these things, I am sure you'll be able to present a personal statement that is worth your effort. Thank you and good luck.